So, was anyone else not aware that Yuri Kuma was on break last week? Like, it didn't come out. Like, there was no announcement or anything. It just did not air last week. And, I mean, when it came around Monday time to watch Yuri Kuma, I waited like 2 hours for it to come out. And it never came out. And I was like, okay, there was no news announcement or anything that it was not coming out. So, kind of sad. But, regardless of that, this episode of Yuri Kuma, better late than never. And it answers a lot of questions. It really does. And it sets up more different themes, along with reconfirming or kind of hinting that the male characters in the series are the final villains or the main villains of the series. The way they were received in this episode, you can assume that the way they're being set up and the way their dialogue is portrayed is that they're the main villains of the series. Now, I really can't dive much into that because it's just always subtle hints and symbolism and stuff like that, so we'll have to see where the plot goes. Now, let's get into the actual details of this episode. So, obviously, Genko survived. She survived and she is fine. And I didn't really expect Genko to die, not at the very least at this episode. If she was going to die, she was going to die near the end of the series, so I wasn't really quite surprised to see Genko alive. What I was mainly shocked about was the change that Genko chose at the end of this episode. Like, in the middle, towards the end of the episode, Genko, after she overcomes her desire and she's almost on her deathbed, she realizes that she wants to eat Kuraha. And so, at the end, we have to wonder, is Genko going to choose the path that, you know, the teacher is trying to do, trying to eat Kuraha? So we have to wonder right now, is Genko really going to go down that path, or is Genko going to still, once again, try to just be lovers? I mean, we have to question that right now. But the main point of this episode was to show us the different perspectives of the bears and what they have been through and what they've been doing in these past couple episodes. Like, we finally get clarification what really happened to Sumika and how she died. So it wasn't Genko. Genko didn't really specifically kill Sumika, Kuraha's best friend. She kind of was an accomplice. She could have done more and helped out Sumika for where she wouldn't have died, but she didn't, and she kind of let Sumika just go run off and die by, you know, that one student that we saw killed a couple episodes back. So, to see this, I understand why Genko feels like she's a criminal bear and why she is, you know, should be judged and punished, and why Kuraha shot her. But I really don't understand Kuraha's perspective as a character in this episode. I want to take a moment to say that, because in this episode, she was shifting back and forth. Like, she shot, you know, Genko because Genko was an accomplice to Sumika's death. But from the episode, this episode specifically, it's like she was looking as if it wasn't really Genko's fault. Like, she didn't really vote for Genko to be charged as the bear that should be killed. So I'm wondering right now, like, what's going on with Kuraha's mind right now? Like, it's like she's shifting back and forth for what she should probably do, and I wonder where that's going to be leading. I'm really curious to find out. But the thing was, though, Genko in this episode, the main point of it is, like, her desire. Like, she meets her desire face to face, and she has to overcome this desire, and the desire actually kind of fuses with her, and she is now going to officially go after Kuraha and be kind of like how the teacher is. So, yeah, I'm kind of worried about that, too. Regardless of that, though, the episode is very, I guess, once again, metaphorical and symbolic. I mean, if you like, you know, the previous episodes, you're going to like this episode. You can get a lot of little details from this episode, a lot more setup, along with the teacher dying at the end of the episode, which I didn't expect that. Like, I thought the teacher was kind of the main villain, but once again, they're trying to hint that, you know, the male Kumas are actually the main villains. But to see how the teacher died in the episode, that was kind of sad. It was a slightly sad ending. I mean, even though she was evil, it's still slightly sad for what happened to her at the end of the episode. And now Genko is in the exact same situation slightly as the teacher was, so maybe Kuraha might die at the end of the series. We have no idea. I mean, we'll have to see if she can find true love. And that's pretty much the episode. There was a lot of Yuri moments. There really was a lot of Yuri. If you like Yuri, you're gonna fucking love this episode. Like, there was like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 Yuri scenes in this episode. Genko and her desire. And then you had that one Yuri scene where the Shabadadu, the sexy way, was looking at, you know, a Yuri scene. And so, yeah, I mean, a lot of Yuri. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about this week's episode of Yuri Kuma? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moments about it? You all have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.